Danger Dolan, strats for all Throne of Thunder encounters, whether you're tank, heal, or DPS. Refer to the links below this video for the guide that caters to your role. Mechanics. Here's how the fight works. You got two bosses, and for the most part you'll be fighting them one at a time. You have the darkness phase and the daylight phase, just like Sulong in Terrors of the Endless Springs, as well as an extra mini dusk phase. Initially, when you pull the boss, the fight will start out in the darkness phase, and then after a few minutes, transition to daylight. When you're fighting one boss in a certain phase, the other might pop in every so often and throw some garbage at you, but it's only temporary, so you don't need to switch targets or anything like that. During the entire fight, you'll see 4 statues in all corners of the room. When you click a statue, it transports you to a spirit world, and a chat bubble will pop up indicating to trace a certain shape using your character as a pen. I could explain this extensively, but instead, I'll just use in-game footage to convey my point. Each statue helps you in a certain way. The Ox gives you more HP for 30 seconds. The Crane inflicts 30 million damage to the boss and should only be used during the dusk phase for maximum damage. The Dragon gives you more health and more mana regen. The Tiger slows everything down, meaning you can avoid mechanics you couldn't previously. Feel free to use the statues anytime you need them. It'll really depend on your group makeup and what you're having trouble with. Now, in the darkness phase, some flowers might appear on the ground and they shoot green cloud balls all over the place. Just don't touch the balls or you will be put to sleep. The tank might get fixated by a blue ad, just let him handle it and stay on the boss. As I mentioned earlier, the daylight boss might show up in this phase for a moment. All she does is raid damage, and as long as you spread out above 10 yards, which goes without saying, there's nothing else to it. For the daylight phase, get out of the fire. That's right, fire's bad. And stay spread out. 10 yards should be perfect. This means you avoid this fire circle attack and something called an ice comet that the darkness boss throws at you every so often. The tanks should be dragging the boss towards an ice comet, as this will reduce stacks of a buff she gets. Make sure they know to do this. The comets will also have this rotating black shadow it leaves on the ground that reduces your fire damage taken by 80%. If you're losing health super fast, I recommend standing in the shadow, to bear in mind that because it rotates around the comet, you'll need to be quick on your feet. For the final dusk phase, you'll fight both bosses at once. They need to be separated above 10-15 yards away from each other or they'll heal. You'll be contending with the mechanics from both phases here, with an extra one called Tidal Force, in which the dark boss, will send waves in all directions you need to avoid. And while she's channeling, she pretty much takes no damage, so have all your DPS switch to the other boss and burn, though because in this phase you'll be burning the light boss anyway, this shouldn't be an issue. And I mean, unless you're going for the achievement, the day boss will be the one all DPS should be burning down anyway. So once the day boss dies, it'll be the night phase all over again. You'll have to burn the night boss and it's smooth sailing from there. Let's recap. Your darkness phase, you move from the green clouds and the flowers. You spread out 10 yards at all times. Daylight phase, get out of the fire, spread 10 yards again. Dusk phase, spread 10 yards. You contend with all the mechanics from every phase. You avoid Tidal Force as well, and Suen must be the one who dies. That is the light boss. That's it. Click the annotation you see on screen for the other boss guide playlist. If you click that nice looking subscribe button at the top left, then all future guides will come right to you. Like on Facebook for heads up on all my upcoming projects. Leave comments about alternative strats. Like if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it. That is what it is there for. Go for it.